Okay, so today we're going to dive deep into how AI is being used in the real world.
Yeah, it's not just, sci-fi fantasy anymore.
Right, exactly. It's like actually making a difference in things like conservation or public safety, even in creativity.
Exactly. It's really fascinating to see this transition from theory to practicality.
Absolutely. So to kick things off, we've got three really cool examples to kind of illustrate how AI is, teaming up with human ingenuity.
Okay, sounds good. I'm ready.
All right, so first up, we're heading down under to the Great Barrier Reef.
Ah, the reef. Now, this is a perfect example of AI's precision.
Really?
Yeah, and efficiency in action.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, they're using these autonomous underwater vehicles, basically robot subs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, equipped with AI to map and monitor the reef.
So it's like having a million tiny eyes constantly watching over the coral.
That's a great way to put it. And what's even more impressive is that these AI systems aren't just collecting data, they're analyzing it.
Oh, wow. In real
Yeah.
time.
In real time, using machine learning algorithms to identify different coral species, spot signs of stress like bleaching, and even predict future growth patterns.
So that's the level of detail that human divers just couldn't achieve on their own.
Exactly. The sheer volume of data is just staggering.
Can imagine. So this is giving scientists a whole new way to understand the reef's health.
Absolutely. And more importantly, it's allowing them to make better decisions about conservation efforts.
Oh, I see. Like where to focus their resources or how to protect the most vulnerable areas.
Exactly. And even identify ideal locations for coral transplantation.
So AI is actually helping to give the reef a fighting chance.
It really is. And what's even more exciting is that this technology can be applied to reefs all over the world.
Oh, wow. So it has the potential to be a global solution.
Exactly. A global solution for a global challenge.
That's incredible. Okay, so for our next example, we're shifting gears from the ocean depths to the bustling streets of a major city.
Okay, bring on the city.
All right, so this one might sound a bit like sci-fi, but AI is being used to help predict crime.
Predictive policing, yes, it's an area with a lot of potential, but also some complexities to consider.
Definitely. So how does it work?
Well, this city is using an AI system that analyzes tons of data, historical crime stats, geographical information, socioeconomic factors even.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
It is, and the goal is to identify patterns and forecast where and when crimes are more likely to occur.
So it's not about profiling individuals.
No, not at all. It's about identifying potential hotspots.
Oh, I see. So the police can be more proactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can increase patrols in those areas, engage in community outreach, implement preventative measures.
It's about shifting from reacting to crime to actually preventing it.
Precisely, and that's where AI can be so valuable.
Okay, so for our final example, get ready to have your mind blown because we're talking about AI and creativity specifically in filmmaking.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. The lines between human and artificial creativity are getting blurred.
So it's not just about AI tools for editing or special effects.
No, it's actually contributing to the storytelling itself.
Wait, are you telling me AI is helping to write scripts now?
It's happening. There was this one case where an AI system co-wrote a sci-fi series.
No way.
Yeah, it came up with plot twists, character backstories, even dialogue.
That's wild. So it's like having a brainstorming partner who has access to like a library of stories and ideas.
That's a great analogy. It really makes you question the nature of creativity.
It does. Like, where do ideas come from and how can human and artificial intelligence work together?
It's fascinating, and it's not just script writing. AI is also revolutionizing special effects, making those mind-blowing visuals more accessible.
Oh, wow. So even independent filmmakers can create those incredible effects.
Exactly. It's lowering the barriers to entry and opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
That's amazing. It really feels like AI is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, not just in technical fields, but in art and storytelling too.
And it highlights how important it is to approach AI with the sense of curiosity and openness to really embrace its potential.
Definitely well said. But with any powerful tool, we need to be mindful of how it's developed and used.
Oh, absolutely. Responsible and ethical development is crucial.
Couldn't agree more.
It's pretty amazing to see how AI is evolving, right? It's like we're
Yeah.
stepping into a whole new world.
Yeah, it really does feel like science fiction is becoming reality. But with all this talk about AI's capabilities, it's important to remember that it is a tool.
Oh, absolutely a powerful tool.
Right. But a tool nonetheless. And like with any tool, we need to use it responsibly.
Exactly. And that means thinking carefully about how it's developed and deployed, making sure it aligns with our values and doesn't have any unintended consequences.
So how do we ensure that AI is used ethically, especially as it becomes more and more integrated into our lives?
Well, one key aspect is transparency. We need to be able to understand how these AI systems work.
Oh, okay. So like what data they're using and how they make decisions?
Exactly. Transparency allows for accountability. So if an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm, we can trace it back to the source.
That makes sense. It's like having a clear chain of command so we know who's responsible. But even with transparency, there's still the potential for bias.
You're absolutely right. Bias is a major concern in AI development, especially if the data used to train these systems reflects existing societal biases.
So it's not just about having a lot of data, but making sure that data is diverse and representative.
Exactly. We need to actively work to mitigate bias by carefully curating the data and developing algorithms that can detect and correct for it.
And I imagine having diverse teams of people involved in the development process is important too.
Oh, absolutely. Having a variety of perspectives and experiences helps to identify potential biases and ensures that AI systems are designed with inclusivity in mind.
It's like building checks and balances into the system from the very beginning. Now, another big concern with AI is privacy. I mean, these systems are collecting and analyzing tons of data about us.
Yes, privacy is paramount. We need to find ways to leverage AI's power without compromising individual privacy.
So how do we do that?
Well, one approach is data minimization, collecting and storing only the data that's absolutely necessary for the task at hand.
So being selective about the data we gather.
Exactly. And whenever possible, we should anonymize data, removing any personally identifiable information.
Well, that makes sense. So individuals can't be easily identified.
Right. And of course, strong data security measures are essential too.
So things like encryption and secure storage.
Exactly. We need to make sure the data is protected and only accessible to authorized personnel. But beyond these technical safeguards, we also need clear ethical guidelines about how data can be used.
So regulations that give individuals more control over their data, like the right to access, correct, or even delete their information.
Exactly, and maybe even the right to opt out of data collection altogether in certain cases.
That's interesting. It's about empowering individuals and giving them a say in how their data is used. Now, with AI automating more and more tasks, there's a lot of concern about job displacement. People worry that robots are going to take their jobs.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, and it's something we need to address proactively.
So what can we do?
Well, while some job displacement is inevitable, we also have to remember that AI creates new job opportunities.
Oh, right. Like we'll need people to design, develop, and maintain these systems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we need to invest in education and training programs to help people develop the skills they'll need to thrive in this new economy.
So it's not just about technical skills, but also things like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity.
Exactly.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
uniquely human skills will become even more valuable in the future.
Because at the end of the day, it's about humans and AI working together, not against each other.
Absolutely. We need a workforce that's adaptable, innovative, and ready to embrace the opportunities that AI presents.
It sounds like finding that balance between innovation and responsibility is key to harnessing AI's full potential.
You hit the nail on the head. It's about finding that sweet spot where we can leverage AI's power for good without losing sight of our values.
And that requires open communication and collaboration between everyone involved.
Absolutely. Policymakers, researchers, developers, businesses, the public, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
So we're back. And I got to say, I'm feeling pretty good about the future of AI after seeing all these incredible ways it's being used.
Me too. It's inspiring to see how human ingenuity and AI can team up to make a real difference, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. We were talking about the Great Barrier Reef and those little robot subs.
Oh, yeah, those are amazing little guys.
They are. And it's not just about monitoring the reef. It's about actually helping to restore it.
Right, exactly. Remember we were talking about how AI can help identify the best spots for planting new coral?
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, imagine you're trying to plant a garden, but underwater. There are so many things to consider.
Like what?
Water currents, sunlight, other marine life, the type of seabed, all of these things affect whether the coral will actually grow.
Wow, that's complicated.
It is. And that's where AI comes in. It can analyze all of that data way faster and more efficiently than any human could.
So it takes the guesswork out of it.
Exactly. It pinpoints the locations with the highest chance of success. So those little coral babies have the best possible start.
That's awesome. It's like AI is giving the reef a helping hand.
It really is. And it shows that AI isn't just about, efficiency or automation. It can be a powerful force for good, especially when it comes to environmental challenges like this.
And it's not just the environment, right? We talked about AI being used to predict crime and make communities safer.
Right. And there's a lot of research happening right now looking at how AI can help with things like traffic flow or predicting natural disasters.
That's incredible. Imagine being able to get a heads up about a flood or a wildfire.
It could save lives for sure. And let's not forget about AI and creativity. We talked about how it's changing the game in filmmaking.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing that AI can help writers come up with ideas and make those amazing special effects more accessible.
It really opens up the creative process to so many more people.
It's exciting, but also a little daunting, right? Like, what does all this mean for the future?
It's a big question. But I think the important thing to remember is that we're not just along for the ride. We have the power to shape how AI develops and make sure it's used for good.
So it's a shared responsibility.
Exactly. It's up to all of us, policymakers, researchers, developers, businesses, everyone, to keep asking the tough questions and make sure AI is used ethically and responsibly.
Well said. So after taking this deep dive into the world of AI, I'm feeling optimistic. I think we have a real opportunity to use this technology to create a better future.
I agree. It's all about working together and making sure AI benefits all of humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure talking about all this with you.
And remember, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious.